Peymon who?
Matahede.
Peymon Latahede. Who is he?
Never paid taxes for 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government.
Hello, my friends. I am Peymon Mutahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. In this presentation, I will show you why over 99% of Americans living in the 50 United States by law are not required to file income tax. By law, as found on U.S. government's official legal websites. Let's get to it first with the 1040 U.S. individual income tax return form. The key term here is U.S. Where is that U.S. that defines who that U.S. individual is? That is the key we're going to find out. And we will see on the 1040 instructions handbook at irs.gov on page 8, the IRS correctly about filing requirements tells us that these rules apply to all U.S. citizens regardless of where they live and resident aliens. And I 100% agree. All U.S. citizens. But it's U.S. What does that term mean? For us to know who are the U.S. citizens, hang in there, folks. We're going to get to that very shortly, okay? We're going to go to the U.S. House of Representatives. They published the United States Code, and it is prepared by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the United States House of Representatives. At uscode.house.gov to look up all the laws, folks. Yes, this is Internal Revenue Code, the whole shebang, the federal tax laws, the Bible of the IRS. Over 10,000 pages of minutia confusion deliberately to confuse you. And guess what? The definitions that define it are at the back, not the front for you to see, but hidden from you at the back, hidden in plain sight. So let's get to all this good stuff now. So first, everybody knows that in the Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, Section 1 of the code imposes a tax. Fine. But let's go to regulations of that, the Code of Federal Regulations, for better understanding of what the law says. And in Part 1, 1.1-1 of the Code of Federal Regulations, okay, it tells us that Section 1 of the code, what are they talking about? The Internal Revenue Code, right here. That's right, the Bible of the IRS. Online at uscode.house.gov. We're watching now the regulations. Section 1 of the code imposes an income tax on income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. Okay, that's the key part we're going to focus on right now. Again, who's a United States citizen? Well, let's continue on, folks, and we get to the law. Title 26, Internal Revenue Code, okay, Chapter 79, way out there deep, definitions, Section 7701. When used in this title, what title again? Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code. They define many things that do not even need defining, like domestic and stock. But look at the United States and state. They have definitions. The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia. Wow, is that interesting? None of the 50 states are listed here, but D.C., which is not even a state, is specifically listed. Now, how about the United States? The term United States, when used in a geographical sense, and that's what we're looking for, includes only the states, which is D.C., plus District of Columbia. There you go. By the way, plural is the same as singular. One state or many states is the same thing. All there is D.C. in there. So United States means D.C. that individual that got pay income tax is a DC citizen, not the 50 state citizens as they want to lead you to believe. So here we go now to the Supreme Court. You think in Peymon, of course, everybody knows 50 states are included. It's clearly implied. We all know that. All of our lives we've known that. No. All your life you were deceived because you are not taught the law. Let's see what the U.S. Supreme Court says about definitions. Here's a case of Stenberg versus Carhart, year 2000 Supreme Court case. Okay, in the relevant part, the court says this about definitions. When a statute or law includes an explicit definition, like the ones you just saw, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. That's right. 50 states is not there in the United States in tax law. It's not there. Now, it continues the court. It is axiomatic, which means self-evident, obvious, that the statutory or legal definition of the term excludes unstated meanings of that term. If something's not listed there, it's not there. The 50 states were not found anywhere, folks, in the definition of the term United States or state on purpose. Now, the Supreme Court gives us even more explicit instructions, folks, in this tax case of Gould versus Gould. Yep, this is the 1917 unanimous 9-0 tax case. And the conclusion of the court, the holding of the court, is this. In their interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying or imposing taxes, so in understanding laws that impose taxes, it is the established rule not to extend the provisions of tax laws by implication or implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operations so as to embrace matters not specifically pointed out. Something that's not specifically pointed out is simply not there. The 50 states are not specifically pointed out, listed in definition of United States or states, so it's not there to apply. The U.S. individual income tax form applies only to the people of D.C., not the 50 states. Now, if you have any doubts, the Supreme Court gives you this very important warning. They tell you that in case of any doubt, the tax laws, are construed or interpreted most strongly against the government and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. Boom, that does it, folks. Any doubt? It goes against the government most strongly. Unanimous 9-0 U.S. Supreme Court case. I'm going to give you one example of another law that they use 50 states. Here it is, folks. Again, from Title 26. This one is Section 4612, okay, about tax on petroleum. That's right. This is Chapter A, tax on petroleum. Look at this definition. For purposes of this subchapter, which is Subchapter A, tax on petroleum, United States has its own unique definition that includes the 50 states and a bunch of U.S. territories, continental shelf areas, even foreign trade zones. Folks, that makes it very simple, very clear. We've been lied to. We've been deceived. This 1044, folks, is not for you. This is for D.C. citizens. That's right. If you're from the 50 states, you are not by law required to file income tax. You were deceived. So you can stop filing them every year as a separate event. You can stop doing them forever. Now, you got to go check yourself out. You got to go check this out for further on your own. If you go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, folks, okay? Go on the front page, take the 7 steps to free yourself of the IRS. In step 1, you're going to see additional videos, folks. Check out these other short videos that give you further information. And there's also more longer, detailed videos about this topic. As you drive around every day, put the videos up and listen to it while you drive safely, and you will no longer be slave by be a free man, not having to file income taxes, and you can stop paycheck withholding as well for free at freedomlawschool.org.